Yeah, I was really pleased with our play from top to bottom. I thought Jenna had her best night setting behind in terms of location. I thought really getting Molly going. Um, and we've been really working really hard with getting Bree consistent sets and consistent rhythm with that because it's a little bit different set that she's worked on, and you can start seeing it's coming together a little bit more. And when those two are together with the way our left sides are playing and Asia scoring, it's obviously potent. I think the only area that I was a little not disappointed, but like we need to focus on is side out percentage is so high, and I think you see it in the men's game that you missed a little bit. You missed a few more serves, and I thought we missed too many serves in game two. But I thought we wore it on our sleeve instead of just kind of taking care of business. And we'll continue to work on that.
Thank you, Coach. Guys, go ahead with your questions.
Jerritt, in that second game, and I guess in the first game too, Iowa State was kind of able to stay with you guys until about the 20-point mark, and you guys pulled away. What did you think of the way they played down the stretch, especially in that second set where it was a couple times a 1-point game?
Well, I have so much respect for Christy and her husband in terms of the way they train their team. I always tell my team that this is the most blue-collar team that we play in our conference. They just fight, they battle, they don't get emotionally up and down. You could see that even up in game three when we were up big, and I think there was 17-8. They were still fighting and screaming and celebrating, and we knew that coming in. So you got to kind of finish from start to finish against this team, and I thought they played extremely well in the first two games, and I was just happy with how consistent we were and how we came out. I don't know how many balls we sighted out in the first game to kind of set the tone, but it was some good volleyball.
Coach, what does it say about Molly, how she was able to come out and have such a nice match tonight after maybe a little bit of a rougher one on Friday?
Yeah, it's nice. She's just, it was an odd match for her last week. For me, there's players that when you have them in your program, you have a lot of trust in what they do and make good swing after good swing. And last week, she doesn't make very many bad swings, and she put a few together in a row, which was very odd for her. But, some of that was location. Some of that was just her having a tough night. And overall, I just love the way that Jenna set her. We're getting that ball closer to the pin. It's opening things up down the line. And now it's really hard to pick spots on it, where before it was a little bit more inside and she didn't have as much range. But I'm really impressed with how she's playing with never playing in the opposite in this program and really giving us a nice punch over there along with her block.
Jerritt, when you guys made the decision and figured out that you guys were going to be short attackers, why was it Molly you guys wanted to move to the opposite instead of Asia or Bree?
Yeah, Asia doesn't hit as well off of 2 feet, so she was never really part of the equation. It would have been only first ball, and then we wouldn't add her in transition. We could have put her over there and run kind of like what we did with Shader, but then in the transition game, when you get against better teams, I think we would have struggled a little bit more. Bree is just it was close. Like we tried Bree out, and then we looked at Molly. Molly was a little bit more consistent out of system in terms of keeping balls in play, but also Bree is probably the best blocker in the country, or one of the best blockers in the country. So she puts up huge points for us in that area, and we knew that with those two, it was hit or miss. But we felt like we'd get a little bit more blocking out of that. We get Molly to be consistent, and Bree is a potential national team kid down the road in the middle. So it was fun to see.
Logan finished with double-digit kills for once again tonight. What does it say to have a player like that who can consistently find so much success night in, night out?
She's got a lot of experience, but she's got great composure, and she just kind of plays the game at a high level and started seeing kind of what they were doing. She's just a lot more consistent, making better choices. And, I think the speed of her offense and Jenna's location has helped her also, because it's hard to – what happens is when she's with Bree, that little hang in there makes teams kind of stay in the center, and they got to try to break out of that. And it's really hard. And there's some seams in there that they can kind of score. So I'm really pleased with the way that she's playing. I was more impressed. I know what she can do in the front court, but I thought she made some really nice plays and passed well tonight, which is what I'm looking for.
Jerritt, at this point, is there much tinkering you can do with the lineup, or is this kind of what you guys are going to be for the rest of this fall?
We are what we are. There's benefits to that because they know that no one's really pushing them, so you don't have the the dynamics of kind of managing personnel and who's starting and who's not. So they're playing a little bit more free, but the negative for that is, can they show up every night? And when they get in trouble, do we have any kind of outlet? So it's really challenging with us right now in terms of trying to get a rhythm. So I was really pleased with the way that they played tonight. And hopefully we can, make some better. We struggle with where their set location was. I thought their set or miss sometimes pretty inconsistent, way inside, and we've got to pick better spots blocking. And when we did that, we were able to go on some point runs.
Yeah, how important is it to kind of take care of these matches at home, where you guys have been, historically so good? You take care of these conference matches at home.
Yeah, very important. I think that it's really important for us to just play our game against teams that we think like we should come out with a win. So it's really important just to be consistent and play every point like it's a national championship point, and just really devote to every single game so we can get better throughout the season.
Why are you guys so good at home?
Well, it's always been, the Gregory experience, and so switching to playing in Frank Irwin has obviously been a huge difference. But I think our fans, like our season ticket holders, our families still show out, still have the big environment. And I don't know, our cheerleaders, that help so much that they're here. So I think it's just the comfort that we have at home.
Molly, you had a really nice match tonight. How does it feel to get into such a groove and to carry that throughout the whole match?
Yeah, it's awesome. Jenna did such a great job tonight, giving me good sets, putting me in good opportunities. I think that's something that we've been working on a lot in the last couple practices. So I think that, all props to her. She put me in such good positions to put the ball away.
Molly, how comfortable have you gotten with this new role, and how did that transition go for you this offseason?
Yeah, I think coming into the season, I was just like ready to play wherever. They asked like, where do you want to play? I was like, I don't really care, just on the court would be. And so it's just fun to get to play wherever, and they've been really helpful, like getting me in this position. And I played a little bit in club here and there, just blocking and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's been really fun to do something different, see the court in a different way, and get to play on the right.
What's been the toughest part from going from the middle to the pins?
I think just not quick sets. That's the timing, just to the higher set to the right side has been a big difference for me. And I guess just like I'm used to just having to close the block, and then now having to watch the hitter more, pick good spots to line up the block. It's been a big difference, but it's been fun to transition and take on the new role.
Have you and Jenna been doing like extra work after practice, or how are you getting used to those sets?
Yeah, we'll go a few times and work on our nines after practice, and Shook always helps, and she'll swing at me after practice sometimes when I'm blocking on right side, just to work on her hitting hard balls at line. She has a heavy arm, so that always helps getting reps against her. And so that's been helpful. Yeah.
Molly, how will you and your team look to keep this momentum going into tomorrow's match as well?
I think we're just excited to get to play at home, get to play against a good physical Iowa State team. I think that we have such big goals coming into games and not letting up. And I think that's something we want to prove to ourselves, is just like to stay consistent and stay good throughout the next set.
Molly, I've been asking as many people as I can, what do you think of Skylar's little jump kick celebration?
Any celebration Skylar does is good. So I'll let her do her crazy things. I think it's so funny.